Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks and welcome to Madrid. And in this video, I'm going to try and put forward an argument as to why this is the best city in Spain. So let's go. Now, before I begin, I'm just going to say what this video is not going to be about. It's not going to be a video about all of the things you can see and do in this city. It's not going to be a tourist video. I'm not going to show you the sights. I am going to cross the city, starting here in the Retiro, and you will see some historical parts of the city because they're all around me as I walk through the city. But as I said, I'm going to try and put forward an argument as to why this is a fantastic city to live in and also to visit should you be planning on coming to Spain. So let's go. So reason number one as to why this is the best city in Spain, and that is location. Madrid is smack bang in the middle of Spain, which means that every part of the country is accessible from Madrid. Whether you take buses, trains, drive, getting around this country, it is very easy from here. That is pro number one. And an interesting fact of this city is that all roads lead to Madrid and all roads go out from this city. So as I said, very important where this city is located. And as I said, if you want to go anywhere in this country, it is easy to do it from here. Now, another fantastic aspect of this city is the green spaces, and I'll just go around like this so you can get an idea of this particular park. This is the Retiro Park, bang smack in the middle of the city, very close to some of the best neighborhoods in the city also, and this is where people from this city spend their weekends or even their afternoons if they want to come and do a little bit of exercise, if they want to go for a stroll, if they want to go for a row on the lake. That is something you can do here also. But this is one of many parks in this city, and as I cross the city we'll see some of those other parks, so stay tuned for that. Now, a curious aspect of this park is that it was once used exclusively by the royal family. They were the only people that could use this park, but luckily we can all take advantage of everything that this fantastic park has to offer. So thank heavens things have changed. Now, the next thing I want to talk about, and another thing that makes this the best city in Spain, is the cultural aspect of this city. This is Spain's most culturally diverse city, I would say. Plenty of things to see and do. You've got world-class art galleries and other types of culture here that are second to none, especially when the rest of Spain is concerned. For example, musicals. If you want to see musicals, the theatres are in this city. And did I mention art galleries? Well, just behind me down this street here are some of the best art galleries here in Spain and also in the world. So let's go and check out some of those. Now, I'm currently walking down Madrid's cultural strip. This is the street where the majority of the best museums in this city are. In front of me I have the Prado. Over there we have the Tyson Museum, and down the end of this street we have the Reina Sofia, another museum that is full of important works of art. And if I had to say what the value of the art in these three museums would be, I'd have no idea. And people come from all over the world and queue up to see the works of art in this very important museum, the Prado. Now, a quick story about the Prado. About 10 years ago, I had two students that worked in the Prado Museum. They were civil servants. They were taking care of the auditing and things like that. And every week I came to the museum. I didn't go to where the works of art are. I went to where the offices are at the back of the Prado, but it was an interesting experience, and I got an invitation to visit the museum, which was a pro. Now, I said this wasn't going to be a tourist video, but it's impossible not to capture some of the sights and monuments of this city. Behind me, we have the Neptuno Square, or Plaza de Neptuno, if you like. And over here to my right, we have the Congress of Deputies, where all of the politics in this country happens. So impossible to avoid seeing monuments. Another one of the important hotels in the city, the Palace Hotel. As I said, as far as politics is concerned in this country, this is where it all happens. I wonder if Pedro Sanchez is present at the moment in this building. Don't know. Now, another thing that makes Madrid a standout city here in Spain is its barrios, its neighborhoods, its districts, if you like, its quarters, if you want to use that word. Madrid has an endless amount of barrios which are very, very good indeed. Lots of services in the barrios, lots of very interesting shops, plenty of things to see and do. And this one here, just off the main strip, is a great little barrio here in Madrid. And it's when you get off the main streets in this city, like this area that I'm in now, very central, but you would never know it by the amount of people walking around. And that's one of the secrets to Madrid. Get off the main streets. Now, I'm currently on a street that is called Los Madrazo, and my personal history with this street goes back a long way. In fact, this was the first place that I got my residency here in Spain, at the police station just up the road. Let's go and see if it's still there, shall we? Well, some bad news. I just spoke to the civil guard officer, and the police station has shut down. It has moved. It's now a ministry or a government organisation. I think the Science Ministry has its operations there, or part of it. So unfortunately, I couldn't walk down memory lane and check out the police station where I first got my residency some 24 years ago here in Madrid. Now, this is the famous Calle Alcalá, which I believe is the longest street here in Madrid, maybe the longest street in Spain, not sure. If I turn the camera around, there we have the Gran Via, which divides the city, or at least it did back in the day. Not so important nowadays, except for traffic jams and theatres and things like that. It's a very touristy area, but what I'm going to do is cross this street here and go into the Chueca neighbourhood, which is one of my favourites, and as I said, the neighbourhoods here in Madrid are one of the pros of this city. So let's go and check it out. Now, I'm heading into the heart of the Chueca neighbourhood, and I'm going to talk about another thing that makes this a standout city here in Spain, and it is the food and drink culture. And when you come into these neighbourhoods, it's where the food and drink culture really comes alive. Lots of different types of food, lots of different types of places to enjoy that food. In fact, it is endless, the amount of places to eat and drink in this city. And the thing that differentiates Madrid from other cities here in Spain when it comes to food and drink is the variety. Probably only Barcelona would be on par with Madrid when it comes to variety, not only for international types of cuisine, but also for local Spanish cuisine, different types of Spanish cuisine. Here in Madrid, you can find every type of Spanish cuisine and some of the best restaurants in Spain selling that cuisine. They say that Madrid is the main market in Spain. All of the best produce comes to their city, and that is then sold in the restaurants here in Madrid, and that's what makes it the best city here in Spain when it comes to food and drink, in my humble opinion. But if you don't agree, the comment section below is where you can leave your disagreement. Now, I've crossed one of the main streets here in Madrid, the Fuencarral Street, a very important shopping street. You can find every type of shop on that street. I've come from the Chueca neighbourhood. I'm now in the Malasaña neighbourhood, and I'm going to find myself a decent cup of coffee, because here in Madrid you can get very, very good coffee shops, specialty coffee shops. In fact, I did a video on specialty coffee a few years ago here in Madrid, so if you want to check out that, you can. But I'm going to try and find myself a decent cup of coffee if the place that I like is still open. Let's go and see. No, unfortunately, it was closed. So that means I have to find another place to get a decent cup of coffee. So let's try and find one. Now I'm deep in the Malasaña neighbourhood, trying to find a decent cup of coffee. And if you want a decent cup of coffee here in Madrid, this is the neighbourhood for you. So let's see if I can find one. Now I'm just going to stop and have a quick refreshment, a coffee and a croissant, and we'll talk about something that has been popping up in the comment section quite a lot recently. A lot of people have been asking me which VPN I use, and the answer to that question is NordVPN. And a VPN, for example, NordVPN, comes in very handy indeed if you're out and about traveling, if you're out and about exploring a city like Madrid, if you're in a coffee shop like this one and you want to use the Wi-Fi that they have. A VPN is very important indeed because it allows you to surf the internet safely and not have to worry about hackers getting into your data. And another important thing that NordVPN does is that it allows you to access content from your country of origin here in Spain. So if you're traveling, if you're living here in Spain and you want to keep up to date with what's happening locally, for example, local television series, local content, NordVPN will help you do that too. And one of the big pros for me about NordVPN is that it's very, very easy to use, and you can use it with a lot of devices. In fact, I think you can use it with up to 6 devices. You can have it on your laptop, you can have it on your phone, you can have it on your tablet, you can have it on multi-devices, and as I said, very, very easy to use. Now Nord has a special offer on at the moment, an exclusive deal. So go to NordVPN/Spain Speaks, and remember that it's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. So click that link below and take advantage of Nord's special offer. Here's a place that hasn't opened since 1975, Maison Barco 24. Now another thing that makes this city stand out from other cities here in Spain is the nightlife. The nightlife in Madrid is one of the best in Europe, and I reckon it's the best in Spain. And this area here, the Malasaña area in Madrid, bang smack in the center, just off the Gran Via, is where you can find plenty of nocturnal activity. It doesn't matter if you are young or old, you will find something in this neighborhood for you. Now, another thing that makes this city an absolute standout here in Spain is the amount of services on offer, and what I'm going to do now is talk about some of those. Now, as you guys know, Madrid is the capital of this country, and that means that you can do everything in this city. If you want to get anything done, Madrid is the city for you. It's also where the majority of big Spanish businesses have their headquarters, and that means that there's also plenty of work, and that's a pro about this city too, because in some of the more regional cities here in Spain, some of the smaller cities, you won't get the work offer that you'll get here. Now, this is the Gran Via, the busiest street in this city, but remember, this is not a video where I'm going to show you the sights, but luckily I'm just walking around the city, so you're seeing some of them anyway. But as I said, the busiest street in the city, because there's lots of theatres, lots of nightlife here, busy for traffic also, and if you are a tourist, this is where you will gravitate to. But if you're living in this city, I reckon you would try to avoid the Gran Via at any opportunity you get. Now, as I said before, one of the secrets to this city is the amount of services on offer, especially when it comes to health services and education services. You can find every type of school here, public, private, there's even schools in the middle, which are a mix between the two, and health services as well, second to none in this city. Because it's the capital, I mentioned that a minute ago, but everybody knows that, right? That is the reason why there are so many services here. Government services, private services, and as I mentioned, very important hospital services and also education services. And that is why Madrid, as I said, is the best city in Spain when it comes to services, in my opinion. Now, again, I'll go back to the aspect of the barrios in this city. Every barrio has its own unique characteristics, and this was an area that I lived in a few years ago now, going back around 15 years or so. I lived in this barrio, this same street, a little bit further on down there. We won't go and see where I used to live, but this is one of my favorite neighborhoods in this city. And the reason is that everything is close by. You've got the Gran Via a stone's throw away. You've got a fantastic park down the end here a stone's throw away. You've got universities close here as well. Shopping districts a stone's throw away. So everything is close. And if we go in that direction, we'll find the Royal Palace and another favourite part of the city for me. So let's head that way. Now, on the subject of parks again, and I find myself in another one of the many parks in this city. This is the Templo de the Bod. Don't think that's the name of the park, but if we walk all the way down here, it's just green spaces all the way down until we get to the Parque de Oeste, which is the biggest park in Madrid, I believe. The biggest park in central Madrid, just down there. Now, I'm not going to go there because I want to highlight the importance of the parks here. So I'll just take a seat. And the reason why parks are important in this city is because in summer it gets very hot. And if you can find a shaded area like this one here or any other shaded area around Madrid, it will come in very, very handy indeed on those hot summer days when the temperature gets into the mid to high 30s. And that's the reason why parks are important in this city. And on a hot summer's evening, you come here and you go to one of these terraced areas out here, an outdoor seating area at a bar or restaurant, and you pass a summer's night outside with a gin and tonic. Very, very enjoyable indeed. And another important characteristic of this park is that some of the best views of the city of Madrid, stretches for miles and miles and miles in any direction around us. The best views in the city, in my opinion, are from this very park. And as we can see over there, you get a great panoramic view of the barrios, or the extension of Madrid. And if we turn the camera around, we have the Gran Via just over there and the Plaza de España, which we can see those very important buildings there. Some of the tallest buildings in Madrid a few years ago, not anymore because skyscrapers have gone up in the north of the city. Royal Palace, Cathedral, two emblematic buildings in this city. Now over here to my right we have the Royal Palace. I'll just turn the camera around. Interesting fact that the royal family, the Spanish royal family, don't actually live in this palace. It's only used for special events when other presidents come here. For example, if Joe Biden came here, that is where they would have dinner or lunch. But as I said, the royal family does not live in this building. It's not like Buckingham Palace, which is where the Queen lived for many, many years. Not the case here. And another interesting fact is that I gave English classes in this building. In fact, in that room right there is where I gave English classes to the Royal Guard many years ago. Interesting fact. Now, another thing that makes Madrid stand out as a city here in Spain are the transport options available. Like every capital city in Europe, plenty of transport options. You've got bicycles, which you can see behind me. There's a bike scheme here in Madrid, taxis, Ubers, public transport, metro, buses, wherever you want to go, you can get to your destination using public transport. It's also very cheap. If you compare it to other European cities, public transport here, very, very cheap. And as I said, as far as cities go in Spain, I reckon Madrid would have the best public transport system, hands down. Maybe Barcelona, but that's a question that we could debate. So again, in that comment section below, if you want to debate it. And also a very important point is when it comes to airports. Madrid has the biggest airport in Spain, 4 terminals, and you can get to basically anywhere in the world from Madrid. And you can't do that in other Spanish cities, except for maybe Barcelona. Now, such is the tourism in this country that we've got a traffic jam of these tuk-tuks or tuk-tuks, whatever you want to call them. These are only a recent addition here in Madrid. They haven't been around for long, but lots of people in these tuk-tuks or tuk-tuks enjoying the city and everything that it has to offer. For example, the Mercado de San Miguel. And again, if you're living here in Madrid, better off avoiding this place because it's full of tourists and the prices are for tourists and not for locals. And in this street, the Cava Baja, you'll find some of the best bars and restaurants in the city. So if you're in Madrid, living here or as a tourist, this is a place to come to find great food and drink. Now this street here, the Cava Baja, on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon would be absolutely heaving, packed with people enjoying the different types of food, the different types of drinks available here. Restaurant after restaurant, bar after bar. You won't be disappointed with this street if you're looking for something decent to eat. And one of the most famous of them all, Casa Lucio, where you can get a decent meal but not for a decent price. And many famous people have sat down in this restaurant over the years and sampled the fare. And it's from this neighborhood, La Latina, that I'll finish this video on why I think Madrid is the best city here in Spain. I'm going to put out another video in a couple of weeks' time on why this is the worst city in Spain, because I've got a bit of that opinion too, so stay tuned for that one. But questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have agreed with anything that I've said today, please, in the section below. If you have disagreed with anything that I have said today, again, in that comment section below. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and I'll see you in the next video, and I'll say goodbye from this wonderful city, in my opinion, the best city in Spain, Madrid. Hasta luego.